guys, it's Katie. Today I'm going to be filming the perfect palette tag. This is like a tag video that's been on YouTube for a while now. I used to watch a bunch of them. I'm a huge makeup collector and palette collector, and so I wanted to give my 2 cents. I'm just going to link the questions down below if anybody else wants to answer this, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. First question is best packaging, and I tried really hard to not have more than one answer for each question, but this one I chose 2. Sorry. I chose the Urban Decay Naked Smoky palette, which is kind of like the Naked 4 palette, because I just love this packaging. It has a really sturdy, nice closure, and it has this cool smoky effect, and I just think it's stunning. It has a great mirror in here. It looks pretty standard to like all the other Naked palettes once you open it, but just like that magnetic clasp, love it. Oh yeah, and I just wanted to get this out of the way while we start here as to not distract you guys. If you're wondering what my shirt says, it's from Urban Decay, and it says hair, clothes, wine, men, all crossed off, and then makeup is the thing that's left. And that's pretty much accurate to my life, except I also am obsessed with wine and shopping for clothes. But makeup's bae. My other palette that I chose for best packaging is the Becca Jaclyn Hill collaboration Champagne Collection face palette. I don't know. It's this. It's really, that glare I think is probably pretty bad, so I'm sorry. But it's this really pretty packaging. It's white and gold. One thing I love about this, it has the best mirror that I've ever seen in any palette before. Like, it's super big and super clear. It's just a really good quality mirror. So for that, plus the aesthetic overall, makes for great packaging in my opinion. The next question on the tag is which has the best color payoff? I had several choices in mind, but I decided on this one. This is by Makeup Forever, and this particular palette is the, ooh, what's the name of it? It's the Palette 9 Artist Shadow. Honestly, they have a bunch of these where it looks like this, and there are 9 shadows in there. This one is like neutral colors. I don't know if this palette actually has a name, but it's just like the neutral one. I would say I have one other, I have one other Makeup Forever palette like this. So this applies to all of them. I know they just came out with a new one as well. Their quality of their shadows is amazing. Let me just swatch these for you. Like, I just took 3 random swatches on my finger, and you can kind of see that it's just really intense. Makeup Forever shadows are some of my favorite. They're really long lasting, they're really pigmented, they're really easy to blend, so this is definitely the best color payoff for me. Next question on the tag is most versatile. I selected the Too Faced Everything Nice palette for this one. This was a holiday palette from I think 2 years ago, so all of the holiday palettes tend to be limited edition, so you're not going to be able to get this exact palette anymore, so my apologies, but Too Faced constantly comes out with really cool limited edition palettes and packaging and things like that, so I'm sure they'll have another similar thing this upcoming holiday. They have their Nikki Tutorials palette coming out right now. The reason I chose this as most versatile, I love Too Faced first of all, I just love the quality of everything, but their palettes pretty much always come with blushes, bronzers, highlighters. This also came with like a mini Better Than Sex mascara. It came with some little brushes that actually were pretty decent, as well as this huge array of shades. So you have mattes, you have shimmers, you have colors, you have neutrals. Like, this truly is the most versatile palette. You could pretty much do a whole face with this. Obviously minus like foundation, concealer, those staple products, but you have everything else. Next question is best for traveling. I chose this, which is the Smashbox Full Exposure palette. I love this palette. I actually picked this up at the Birchbox store in New York. And this palette has 16 shadows in it. So for me, this is the best to travel with because you have everything you need. The unique thing about this palette is called Double Exposure. If you can tell, and I'll do close-ups, it has this whole row of all these different colors ranging from like white to black and every neutral in between in matte. And then it has the exact same color range on top in shimmer. So because of that, you have all of your matte transition shades. You also have all of your fun, pretty, shimmery lid shades. You could do an all matte eye, an all shimmer eye. You could do like a little bit of everything. And these are colors that every single person is going to be able to use. So this is definitely the best for traveling in my opinion. It's just like a one-stop shop. You know, unless you want to do a fun look like what I have on right now, which is colorful, on your vacation, then you could maybe pack those specific shades, but just for like an everyday neutral look, you've got everything you need right here. Who's calling me from Tucson? Bear down. The next question is biggest regret. This might not be considered a palette, but to me it was. And it is this YSL little foursome. Looks like this. I don't even know if they still sell this. It's called Pure Chromatics. 4 ombres, you can use them wet and dry. This dinky little palette, it's tiny, and it came with these like stupid little fake brush things, not even anything you can use. The colors in here are pretty. I was intrigued by the fact that you can use them wet or dry. Let me just see if I can show you these swatches at all. Not even really, it's those two right there. The reason that's my biggest regret is because first of all, I never really reached for it. Second of all, this was like $50. YSL is obviously a luxury brand, and so you know you're gonna be paying more, and their products are gonna be pretty good quality. And it's not that it was bad quality, it's just that it was overpriced for like a silly little quad of like pink and metallic, like random shades. I think it was something where I had a gift card and I just wanted like a YSL product, but I definitely regret it because I like never really get use out of it. It's old, so I should probably get rid of it, but there's that. For best color names, I have actually 4, so I'm sorry, but you'll see. It's kind of like 2 of them go together and 2 of them go together. They're all limited edition, so my apologies, you can't get them anymore unless you go on maybe like Poshmark or Amazon or something. But they truly have the best names out of all of my palettes, so I had to select them. The first are these guys. These are from Too Faced. These were the Soulmates collection, and it was bronzer and blush together. There was a light shade and then a deep shade. Obviously I got both of them because I'm a hoarder of makeup. They look like this, so you have your bronzer and then you have your blush in the middle there. And the reason the names are the best is because one of them is called Ross and Rachel, yes, from Friends, and one of them is called Carrie and Big. We all know how I feel about Sex and the City. I thought that was the cutest concept on planet Earth. Soulmates, blush and bronzer, just like Rachel and Ross and Carrie and Big. So cute, had to have them. So I love the names of these, they just make me happy. The other ones I selected as my palettes with the best names of the colors are gonna be these 2. These were both limited edition. They were from when Sephora did a collection with Disney. The first collection they came out with was this one, which is the Cinderella palette. All of the colors are inspired by colors from the actual movie. So some of the names are Pumpkin Coach, Glass Slipper, Fairy Godmother, Killjoy. And if you're a fan of Disney, you know that I think it's when the tower rings and Cinderella goes, "Oh, you're such a killjoy," or something like that, and they like took that random one-liner from the movie and named an eyeshadow after it. There's also Jacques, like the little mouse. There's, you know, just a bunch of random ones. The other Disney palette that I have is the Jasmine palette, and so this one looks like this. They included a blush and a bronzer this time around, and some of my favorite names in this one are Trust Me. Aladdin's my favorite Disney movie, and it's from the part where Aladdin is taking her on the carpet ride and he goes, "I said, do you trust me?" And so the fact that they named an eyeshadow Trust Me, I was like, oh, I love that. There's also Cave of Wonders, there's Friend Like Me, and it's like a bright blue color like the genie. There's Mystical Wonder, there's Raja, like the tiger, and that's like this really cool like orange shade, kind of like her tiger. So all in all, I just loved those fun names of the colors. They make me happy when I use them. Sephora and Disney also did an Ariel collection. Those were the 3 princesses, and I remember wanting that Ariel palette, but I used Self-Control and I did not get it. The next question is least used. You could argue that like my YSL one is my least used, which was also my biggest regret, but I was trying hard to come up with only one for each category. So this would be my least used palette. It's the Urban Decay Electric palette. I do actually really like this palette. I love Urban Decay. I love their shadows. They're pretty much known for their palettes. And this one is great. Great color payoff, great pigmentation, all of that. But they're like crazy bright colors, which is fine. I'm not afraid of using color. I'm using some color today. But in general, it's probably no surprise that I use this the least. I don't reach for colors like this on a day-to-day basis. Now that I no longer work for Disney, I could wear like a super fun, bright eye if I wanted to. But even so, for the most part, when I do something fun and bright, it's just like a little pop of color under the eye or on the center of the lid or something like that. So I do like this, I just don't use it very often. The last question on the tag is Desert Island / most used palette. I think that this is probably everybody's answer from all of the perfect palette tags that I've watched. Sorry to be unoriginal, but it's the Naked palette, the Urban Decay Naked Original palette. This palette is just so good. As I've already stated, Urban Decay palettes are amazing for their color payoff, their blendability, pigmentation, blah, 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 blah. So the only Naked palette I don't have is the Naked 2, and I like them all. They all have a lot of fun shades, but this just is the one that I reach for the most. It just is. You have like your darker ones you can do smoky fun eyes with. You have like all of your transition shades. You have lots of fun shimmers, brow bone colors. And I do like the packaging on this as well. It's fairly easy to travel with. It's fairly like, I don't know, it doesn't feel so bulky or anything like that. But just all in all, Naked palette is my favorite. I think any makeup collector, makeup person, that was a weird term. I think everybody who loves makeup needs this, and even if you're not like a super makeup hoarder collector, this is a great palette to have. All of the Urban Decay Naked palettes do come with like double-ended brushes as well, and they're actually pretty good quality. So that was the end of the questions on the perfect palette tag. I went ahead and added like my own little final question at the end, which is what palettes are on my wish list. And then I realized that I have a lot on my wish list, but just to name a few, right now I'm definitely lusting after the Too Faced Nikki Tutorials Power of Makeup collaboration palette. I think it looks like a great one, and there's a lot of fun extras that come with it, like a little mini purple mascara and glitter. I also really have my eyes still on the Makeup Geek Manny MUA palette. That looks really pretty. There are some cool custom shades in there. I've always been interested in the Too Faced chocolate bars, like the original, the semi-sweet, the bonbons. What else? I'm sure there are many more, but those are just some that are jumping to my mind. Do you guys have any on your wish list? Any palettes that are your favorite? Let me know down below in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you soon. Love you. Bye.